Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker Channel Talk time. I'm going to be reading your amazing comments and we're going to like chit chat. Grab a snack, coffee, tea, whatever have you. Let's get to it. Wearing Vivienne Westwood, the pirate hat from World's End, originally created for the Pirates collection. This is from the 80s. And then we have the Climate Revolution square tee. And then this tiny little necklace, 3D silver orb necklace. So June, the month of my birthday, but also the month that, and all these positive energies, you know. Got to spend 2 hours with Vivienne Westwood. Super thrilled. I know I'm repeating myself in every video, but I'm just like still in awe. So all tributes to the incredible Dame Vivienne Westwood. By the way, these little tassels are incredible. They are in metal and they're twirled downwards and then upwards again. So it's not like, you know, cheap tassels. You just like cut them off and then they kind of fringe open. These can't. These cannot fringe open because they are turned, twisted, and then brought up again. So they're quite heavy metal tassels. Anyway, the pirate in me is going to read to you guys. But let's first put on the fragranza of the day. Today is Bel Respiro. I'm going to be smelling Bel Respiro Eau de Toilette. Oh, this one is so intense. This is the first edition of it from 2007-8. Pre-reformulation era. It's so intense. I'm loving it. Ah, it's so summery. It's so intoxicatingly, it's like sun and grass and fields of grass, and it's warm, but it's cooling at the same time. It's just super perfect, and it gives me always so much positive energy, so many positive thoughts. It's just perfect for my birthday. And it's also one of my top 5 fragrances for the month of June. You could check out the video in the description box down below. All right, so let's read the message or the comment by Ho Yi Cheung. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Hi, sweetie, how you doing? On Chanel seasonal bags, are they worth it? Great video. Always enjoy watching for your opinions and information. I totally agree. Wearing Chanel feels like flying on a magical unicorn. It is also very true that Chanel purchase is forever. That is why I take much consideration when making a purchase. I still yearn to purchase a square caviar black mini with silver CC lock. A piece I am waiting for to come back around. I have no preference. I love seasonal and classic, but with seasonal, it does have to be a piece that resonates with you and reflects your personality. Your words in this video, well said. Thank you so much, sweetie. And in general, I think what you have to always consider, you know, from season to season, Chanel is bringing out more and more and more and more bags, seasonal bags. Like there's like, I think like around 80 different models between colorways and fabrics and whatever. And there's like 9 collections a year approximately. I mean, it's a mess. So of course they can't all be genius designs. Some of them are going to be meh, you know. You got to box your way through and find exactly the jewels. And they're hidden, you know. They're not just like laid out there. A lot of that stuff is really not good. And a lot of it is good. Well, not a lot. Some of it is really good. Let's just say very little of it is really good. Some of it is good. A lot of it is not good. Design-wise, you know, stuff that looks kind of not timely. Already comes out, it feels dated. And every brand, you know, has that issue. Nobody is like completely purely timeless. In fact, I made a whole video on this topic. You know, my opinion on whether or not there's going to be in the near future, any other brands, you know, delivering a new timeless classic bag. I think that the time of these iconic bags is over. It will come again maybe in the future, but for now it's over, and it's very hard to create an icon in this day and age when everything is too quick, too fast-lived, you know. You don't have the time to really root yourself. Same goes for music. You know, in the 80s, music would be, you know, there would be a record, there would be a single. There was no internet. And then, you know, it makes a circle around the world. All radio stations start listening to it. And maybe even a year passes, you know, and it gets into the DNA of the people before there's a new single coming out after that. So it's really hard today to manufacture something of that scale and that strength. Unfortunately, the stuff that today kind of lasts a minute and a half instead of just half a minute is usually like a particular type of earworm stuff that goes viral, like the Gangnam Style thing. Oh my God, awful, awful. That song is awful, but every idiot out there was dancing to the beat, was doing the horse ride, was, you know, it was an earworm, hence it functioned. Amidst the sea of quick productions, you know, bringing out stuff, and then the second a label brings out a record, already there's 5 lined up to kind of, it's like airplanes when they land, you know, they got a taxi, like they got a park taxis that they call it taxiing. There's like a schedule, and they're like just like wow, 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 landing one after the other. You know, that's the same way I feel like music is being delivered today. Same way fashion is being delivered today. It's become so quickly consumed. You know, Chanel has around 9 to 10, I don't even know how many collections a year. That wasn't like that in the past. It's crazy. So of course, there's less and less time to think things through. There's less and less time to produce things well. There's less and less time to create memorable designs. And there's less and less time for us to be able to digest the design because we're already bombarded with new looks before they even hit the shops. So yes, you better believe it. It's more about luck rather than thought processes. You know, it's a stroke of genius if a designer, you know, manages to make a bag that just so happens to transcend time. That's how it is nowadays. Yes. So what else do we got here? Besto Tom. How you doing, Besto Tom? On my Coco Chanel review video, which Chanel perfume is best for women in terms of smell, sillage, and projection, especially for hot and humid weather? You know, I always say this, perfumes for me are genderless. And so, but even if they weren't genderless, you know how difficult, you know how impossible it is to answer your question? Because it's not just about women and men, or women and men, or whatever. But it's also about skin type and skin type, chemistry and chemistry. Every human being has a different type of chemistry, skin, needs, whatever, necessities, you know, how smells are perceived as well as how they develop on the skin. The woman at hand needs to try several fragrances and see how they resonate with her, how they develop on her skin. How do they smell in the opening notes, in the mid notes, and how do they smell, you know, 2 hours, 3 hours later in the dry down? Personally, I like to mix things up. You know, a lot of people say they love Cuir de Russie Russian Leather by Chanel, Les Exclusives fragrance, Eau de Toilette and Pure Parfum. Eau de Parfum, no. They prefer them in winter. They prefer to use this fragrance in winter because it's kind of a warmer scent. I love it in summer. In fact, it's one of my June favorites. So again, you know, I'm kind of a bit particular with these things. I also like to mix my sweet and salty stuff, like savory and sweet when I eat, you know. But if you're thinking of summer as fresh, what I began the video with was Bel Respiro. This one is incredible for summer. Beautiful. Also 28 La Pausa, also by Chanel. But if you're going to go for the mainstream releases, Eau Fraîche, Chance Eau Fraîche, Chance Eau Tendre, Eau Vive as well. And if you like a bit more powdery touch, I would go for a cool, cold-blooded Chanel number 19 Eau de Toilette, not the Eau de Parfum. And if you're going for a more Oris Ruti modern take on a 70s classic, as is Chanel number 19, then I would go for Chanel number 19 Poudré. And if you want to have a mandarin-y twist, a bit more kind of like a citrusy also note in the opening, I would try Cristal Eau Verte, kind of the green version of Cristal. That one is very special for summer, but it doesn't develop well on every skin. It can go acidy and pissy a bit as well. But if you have the right skin chemistry, that one can develop very, very well. It could be magical on your skin. On me, it works some days, other days it doesn't work. It all depends, how I balance it out, what I ate the day before, because also that comes out of the skin and mixes together with everything. How humid is it outside or not? A lot of things influence. How is my mood? Am I in a good mood? Am I in a bad mood? Even when I'm in a bad mood, I wear fragrances. The only question is, do I wear the fragrance because I just want to keep being in that moody mood, bad mood, or do I want to battle my way out of the bad mood, so I kind of wear a fragrance to contrast the mood, kind of a fragrance to pep me up, to help me get out of the bad mood? Fragrances are so rich in texture and layered, like you can use them literally in so many different ways. I think we have this very limited notion of perfumes in our society today. We think, okay, it's always a positive mood. You're either going out when you're flirty into a club or on a date, but we kind of forget the fact that fragrances are also used, first and foremost, are an intimate process. They're for you. I perfume myself at home. I just, love to do it in the bunker. For myself, or before I go to bed. Love 28 La Pausa before I go to bed. Sometimes I even do fracas before I go to bed. Whatever. I change all the time. But when you start understanding that fragrance is something that underlines your mood, what you need, what you want, it can also be used as a weapon. I sometimes use very intense fragrances just to push people away when I'm out and about, and I don't want to, I prefer people saying, oh my God, this is so cloying. And, I'm like, thank you so much, perfume, for doing the job for me, because I don't want to have anybody around me right now. Sometimes, you could use, of course, a fragrance. The biggest cliche version of use of a fragrance is as an arm of seduction. The arm of seduction, or the weapon of seduction. But fragrance is also, in a way, for me, first and foremost, a gateway. It's like it unlocks a possibility for my soul to evade all of this material shit surrounding us, It kind of allows me to exit the world, and it makes me dream, and it makes me soar through other heights. It makes me feel much more comfortable. It soothes my otherwise painful physical presence in this world, because life is tough. Life is difficult. There's so much crap surrounding us. So much is making our life a living hell, And why, oh why, goddammit, are we the ones to spend even more energy messing our lives up even more? We're the ones planting all those stones and rocks in front of our path. We are the ones who ultimately, block our own way the most. And then the rest comes on its own anyway. Life has a sneaky way of messing with us, of kind of popping up when you least expect it, and it delivers, stuff that you didn't want. And you got to deal with it. But then on top of that, which is already super hard, horrible, and difficult to deal with, we have this tendency of also making it difficult for ourselves on top of it all. That's horrible. And that's something that, I'm actively, consciously struggling against, And perfumes have been one of my personal weapons of choice against that self-inflicting, positioning and placing of rocks on my own path. Perfumes have helped me discover more freedom, more positivity, because they give you a certain aura of purity, something that is pure, something that is more innocent. And even if it's seductive and sexual, it's still innocent because it has a certain composition. Certain ingredients in there are used to elevate you. And I find innocence to be extremely elevating because it's not corrupted, It's still so full of hope. There's still so much aspiration towards light, towards better, and a fragrance always elevates me towards the better me, the better that I aspire to be, to become, because we're never done. We're never done growing and working. You know, life is tough, as I said before, but the thing is this, especially as an artist, you go through these phases of kind of understanding or trying to work out creativity, and being creative does not entail just, you know, always having a positive. You can't just come from riches and happiness and always deliver good art. You also need to dig deep into the darkness, into the nasty stuff, into the dirt as well. Because as an artist, you also have that responsibility to analyze where is society standing? Where are we standing right now? And sometimes going through that darkness is vital and necessary. So that is fine too. You know, you as an artist, you go through that, but then you get to the light as well. And dealing with both darkness and light is also something that we have to understand should be considered natural. We should not be afraid of it. We just shouldn't kind of tend to linger on in the negative. God knows I have an addictive personality. I'm the type of person that if I'm really sad, I like being sad. And then I just want to spend days isolated in my sadness. Woe is me, you know, and I got to slap myself out of it. Be like, no, we get it, Dacob. But now you got to like snap out of it. You know, very Cher, very Moonstruck. Fragrances help in that respect a lot. But also in general, like the notion of beauty, of proportions, of aesthetics, colors, having the right people that surround you, the right friends, family, you know, love, positive vibes. Always have positive vibes around you. Oh my God, I'm like jumping from, you know, so many different things to say. And all of this because we started with, and of course, the second I look down at my computer, screensaver turns on, Murphy's Law. We started with Chanel bag and, oh, this is ridiculous. Chanel bag and sillage projection of fragrances, hot and humid weather. And then we go like to artistic creation and going really deep. Artists in general, but not just artists, every human being, I think, has to deal with so much, you know, both pain and pleasure. And as an artist, you find also the fascination of trying to deal with both. But if you're not an artist, a lot of people that are not artists, they just, you know, kind of think, okay, it's part of human nature to try to avoid the negative and just like kind of be in the positive. But you can't really, because this is the thing, what I want to say at the end of the day. If we have the most positive everything every day and we have fulfilled our growth, you know, you could say, I can't do anything better tomorrow. You can, then you're done. You're dead. So that's very, very dangerous. You are always a better person tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and then there's something you could make even better yet. And you have to see it that way. You have to keep growing. Because if today you say, I have already achieved everything I can achieve. I have already learned everything I can learn. I have already created everything I can create. Where is tomorrow? Think about that. Don't be afraid when you find yourself in a position to thinking or thinking, oh my God, I have the deadline coming up. I have that to do. I still have this to do. I have so much to do. Oh my God, how am I going to do it? Be happy there's so much to do. The day you find yourself having nothing left to do, feeling like there's nothing more to say, there's nowhere more to go, there's nowhere more to grow, there's no way you could better yourself, that's the day you're dead. So it's good to have questions. It's good to have doubts. Really good. So Gwen Stefani, you're no doubt, bad thing. A lot of doubt. Because the doubt makes you question things. It makes you dig. And that's what life is about. So it's a good thing to also go through problems. It's a good thing to go through tasks. It's a good thing to go through all these questions. because it means you are growing, you're strengthening yourself. You know what I mean? And that is also an amazing thing, to surround ourselves with this great community, because we help each other out. All of us are just lights that can shine when we're together. Otherwise, you're going to lose yourself in this crazy black universe, which is like a black hole. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Let's keep on growing and reminding ourselves that tomorrow there is no stopping, of growth. We have never reached our goal today. There's always more incredible stuff waiting for us tomorrow, and there's so much more we still have to do and achieve. And it's great to acknowledge that, and it's great to go through that process together. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thumb up this video if you liked it. Leave me and let me know what you think about this video and all the topics we've went through together in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already but do wish to, please subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So guys, no matter how strong and hard the pressure is, the pain is, the hate is, the torture is, and also the pleasure is, we still never give up on love. Love you guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye.